This next point is really important and it's really interesting, and I'm going to tell you to do your research on this one. But there's so many benefits to this that it can't be overlooked, and it's one of the major components for having a youthful appearance. Coach Chris here, coming to you today with another video. Today I want to talk to you about 5 things I think are important for maintaining a youthful appearance, and 5 things that I practice in my life. First and foremost, let's talk about water. Water is the first thing we're going to talk about. Hydration. We need water to stay healthy and to stay alive. Our body is pretty much 70% water, or 2/3 water. So it's important that we get enough water and the right types of water. The things that water does in our body are, it helps us digest our food. It helps assimilate the food, which means to help distribute it to the cells. It also helps to move that food to the cells. And water also helps the nutrients that are digested and broken down enter the cells, and then water helps the cells release waste and bring that back to our elimination system, whether it's urine or solid waste. Water also lubricates our joints. It's said that we can go weeks without food, but we can go no more than a few days without water. I think I was reading somewhere it says we can go for about 5 days without water, but that's probably pushing it. So we definitely need water every day, and it suggests that we get at least 8-ounce servings of water. Some people drink more. Some people probably drink less and probably should drink a little bit more than that. But water also helps to digest and assimilate the water-soluble vitamins, which are the B vitamins. There's 8 B vitamins and vitamin C. So water helps to distribute those vitamins and within our body as well. So it's important to make sure that you get enough water throughout the day. And when it comes to water, there are so many different types of water. I'm sure you've heard of alkaline water, you've heard of distilled water, you've heard of carbonated water, you've heard of boiling your water, spring water. So there's different types of waters, and each one, and then of course there's tap water, which we just get from the sink. Each one of these waters has some type of stigmatism associated with it. Like, for example, tap waters purified by municipalities, and so there's chlorine in that water, there's fluoride in that water depending on where you live, and other chemicals to help maybe fight off bacteria that would maybe flourish in the water if those chemicals weren't in the water. And there's also the type of pipe that the water comes through. Is it a lead pipe? Is it a copper pipe? How old is the pipe? Is it cadmium, which is something that's really old? But the point again is, like, so water comes through pipes. We can buy it in bottles. We can buy a distiller, or we can even buy distilled water. Now, with water, I'm going to, as I always say, do your own research when it comes to what types of water you prefer to drink. But it's said that distilled water is the best type of water because it pretty much removes everything. The process for distilling water is basically boiling the water, and then the steam is captured, and there's it's condensed back into water. And then so when it's boiled, that leaves behind all of the chemicals and all of the impurities, or so it's said, But anyway, so when that water is distilled, then pretty much everything is stripped out of the water, and then you can add like liquid minerals or powdered minerals to your water if you want to. But I would say just do your research, look into the different types of waters there are, and see what's associated with each one, which one you think is healthiest for your body. It's all different types of water filters. Some filter out more things than others. But when it's said and done, we definitely need water, and you want to make sure that you're getting the healthiest source of water. Water, it also hydrates your skin. So if you want to try to maintain a healthful, youthful appearance, then make sure that you get enough water to flush toxins out and to keep your skin hydrated. Secondly would be stretching. I think stretching is really important, especially as people progress on the journey, as I like to say. If you're not doing any type of physical activity, then your joints, muscles, tendons, and ligaments can, if it's a muscle, tendon, or ligament, mainly muscles, they can shorten a little bit and impede your body's ability to function and to move. So I think it's important to be flexible, and that comes from stretching. Now, obviously, there's different ways that you can stretch. You can do like a yoga class, or you can just stretch on your own. Um, Other types of activities like moving type stretches like qigong or tai chi are also beneficial. But it's important to stretch. Stretching helps to maintain the integrity of the musculoskeletal system. It helps to maintain, your posture, which is really important as those muscles shorten. If you sit a long time, then you obviously have the muscles in the front of your body that are shortening, which can create a muscle imbalance, which can affect your posture. So as far as stretching is concerned, it affects the posture, it affects the balance, it affects the ability of the joint to move to a full range of motion, which can reduce your risk of injury. So it's important to stretch. It depends on, if you're just stretching just to maintain a certain level of health and wellness, which again, we're talking about youthful appearance. If you're all stiff and tight, then, you're not going to be able to move like you were when you were younger. Just think about a baby and how flexible they are, how they can take their head and stick it through their legs and suck their toe sitting on the floor and do all kind of stuff. If you can still suck your toe, then you're probably pretty flexible. That's pretty good. Personally, I can't suck my toe, but I'm working on it. And so flexibility is huge when it comes to, being able to function and move, comfortably. So look into some type of stretching regimen that you can do, and I think you should stretch, at least every other day, if not every day, because stretching is not necessarily like lifting weights. And if you don't stretch often enough, then the gains that you made from stretching, they will slowly diminish, and your tendons, muscles, ligaments will go back to their shortened length. All right, so when you're stretching, also when you stretch, it's based on how long you actually hold the stretch. Because when you're working out, you might just hold a stretch for 15 or 20 seconds. But if you don't work on your range of motion and your flexibility, then you want to hold your stretches for at least 30 seconds, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. I know people that hold a stretch for 5 minutes, like dancers and things like that. But you don't necessarily have to hold a stretch that long, but at least, 30 seconds to a minute. The other thing about stretching is you don't want to hurt yourself. It should be tight. It should be a little uncomfortable, but it shouldn't be painful. If it's painful, then you want to back off the stretch a little bit and then just get to the point where it feels a little uncomfortable or tight, and then hold it there. Another thing is something called ballistic stretching, which means you don't really want to bounce when you're stretching. You just want to get to the point where you feel the tension and just hold it there. So as far as stretching is concerned, look into a version or form of stretching that you enjoy, whether it's just basically sit on the floor with a mat and doing your stretches, or taking a yoga class, tai chi class, qigong class, or something along those lines. Okay? Third thing is sleep, and not just sleep, but the quality of your sleep. According to research, according to scientists, the average adult should get at least 6 or 7 minimum hours of sleep, and quality sleep, which means there's 3 or 4 different stages of sleep that we go through. And I'm not going to go into all those different stages. You can look that up if you want to, but the point is you got to get to that deep sleep, which usually takes about an hour and a half to get to, and that's basically REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep. And then, being that stage of sleep, then the body goes through cycles, so you might not stay in REM sleep the whole 7 hours that you're sleeping, but you have to sleep long enough to get to that state of sleeping. Now, there's a lot of things that happen when you're sleeping, and it's important to get that amount of rest so that you can get the benefits that come from sleeping. And again, we're just talking about things that are going to help you to maintain a youthful appearance. So I'm going to peek at my card I got here for a second. When you sleep, sleeping helps your body release hormones that heal the body. Your body does a lot of healing and repair work when you sleep. Your heart rate goes down, your blood pressure goes down, there's less stress on your heart, there's less stress on your body. So your body takes that time to do this healing and repair work. So if you don't get enough sleep, then obviously your body's not going to get to do all of the healing and repair work that it would if you had at least those 6 or 7 hours of sleep. Things like tissue regeneration, cells healing, muscles healing, bones healing, just general healing that the body needs. Also, the body releases, hormones that help that healing process take place. And we all know, we've all probably had, days when we didn't get enough sleep and you're sluggish the next day. So think of yourself as a cell phone when it comes to your sleep. If you don't charge that sucker up, then, you might be an important call when it just dies on you. Your body's not going to necessarily just give out like that, but you will definitely feel the lack of energy the next day, the mental fog, and the other things that are associated with not getting enough rest. So it's important to, get your rest. And as far as sleeping is concerned, ideally you want to try to go to bed around the same time every night so you have a rhythm. And then sleep for 7, 8 hours. Some research says that, if you sleep too long, it can have counter, beneficial effects. So, I mean, the effects are not as beneficial as if you just get your 7 or 8 hours. You sleep like 10 or 12 hours, and that starts to diminish the benefits that you would get from sleep. But I'm sure there's days when you might need that 10 or 12 hours of sleep. That shouldn't be an everyday thing. All right, this next point is really important, and it's really interesting, and I'm going to tell you to do your research on this one. But there's so many benefits to this that it can't be overlooked, and it's one of the major, components for having a youthful appearance, and that is what's called copper products. I'm talking about the heavy metal copper. Like, I think I talked about colloidal silver, and there's also colloidal copper. Colloidal means that the metal actually has been exposed to some form of electrolysis that helps the metal to release silver, if we're talking silver ions or copper ions, and they should be a certain particle size. But I'm not going to get into all that right now. You can do the research on that, but I do want to talk about just the benefits of copper products, starting with, they have copper in like face creams. So the things that copper does for your body are, so do you know that copper actually helps your body produce collagen and elastin, which are the things that keep your skin tight. And it also helps to tighten your skin. Copper also helps your body build red blood cells. It strengthens your bones. It's anti-inflammatory. It can also help your body lose weight. But when we talk about anti-aging, we're just talking about, there's so many benefits associated with this. I implore you to look it up, do some research. But, just the skin tightening and the elastin production, the collagen production are things that can help to maintain, a youthful appearance. If your skin is tight, it's not sagging and bagging, and bags under your eyes, and your skin's hanging on your chin, and so on and so forth. And it's said that, and I've seen people talk about how quickly this stuff works. So whether you're using copper skincare product, and then they also have copper supplements, which you can take in like a powder form, and there's capsules, and there's a liquid form, which would be the colloidal copper. And some people say you should just use it topically, meaning just apply it to your skin. And others talk about that you can, ingest it. Do some research on copper, because you find that, it's just, there's certain substances that are very beneficial to our body that just are not talked about a lot, because there's no money that can be made by the major corporations that produce the stuff that they can make money from. So I'm speaking about, mainly pharmaceutical stuff, because most supplements are not regulated by the FDA or USDA, and so you have to do your research on that. Colloidal copper is not really that hard to make. Colloidal silver is not really that hard to make. I've made both of those in the past, and obviously I trust what I make, and I've done my research to understand how to do that. And then, so as I said, there's supplements, and there's also foods. I mean, you can eat foods that are high in copper. A lot of seafoods like oysters, like lobster, organ meats, nuts and seeds, green leafy vegetables, even dark chocolate is known to have a high copper content. So you don't necessarily have to use colloidal copper or copper supplements as as capsules or things like that. You can just make sure you get enough of the foods that contain copper. Let me make sure I covered them all as far as the foods. And there's more. So again, do your research. And then of course spirulina is another one of those foods. Of course, spirulina is a seed plant that's green. So green leafies, just green leafies in general, are really good for a good source of copper. And then so what else did I want to say about copper? Well, that's pretty much it. Get it from your food. Do your research though, because you find that there's so many health benefits. I just mentioned some of the benefits that are associated with skin, collagen, elastin. But when it comes to like other health benefits like the anti-inflammatory properties, even antibacterial, antimicro, antifungal properties, which I listed that in a video I just did recently, those are properties of colloidal metals as well. And copper was found like in Egypt 2,000 years ago. They talked about how Cleopatra and like her other ladies, they used it, but they didn't like tell the common folk because they wanted to look more beautiful than the rest of them. So copper's been around as a beauty aid for many years, and it's not just for women. So everybody can use that. If you want to tighten your skin up, and you want tighten up the collagen, produce collagen, which helps keep the skin tight, and the elastin, which helps keep the skin tight, then copper is a good thing to look into in its many forms. And so the last thing would be having some fun, pleasure. Anyway, pleasure, having fun. Fun is associated with hormones that help the body retain youthfulness. That would be things like endorphins, serotonin, melanin, dopamine, those hormones that help the body feel good. And those hormones also help heal the body. But on the flip side of that is if you're not having fun, then, that means you're stressed out. And research, I think it was some psychological organization that did the research on having fun. And it is said that people that are like, pessimist, you're an optimist or pessimist, positive-minded person or negative-minded person, well, they say that the pessimist lives 7.5 years less than the optimist. So optimists live 7.5 years longer than the pessimist. So it's important to have some fun. Now I think that having fun also, when it releases those hormones in the body to make you feel good, it's just you feel good about yourself, you feel good about your life, and there's many ways to have fun when it comes to playing or something that you enjoy doing that just brings you pleasure. It could be maybe reading a book, maybe you put models together. Maybe you make videos. Maybe you like to play sports. Maybe you like competition. Just again, as I always say, whatever works for you. But you want to make sure that you're having some fun to also reduce the effects of stress on your body, which cause the body to age. So those are 5 things that I think are important. These are 5 things that I actually do to help maintain my youthful appearance. And so, again, I hope that video was helpful. If you have any questions about anything I talked about, or if there's any topic you want me to cover, just mention it in the section below. And then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. If you think this information could be beneficial for somebody, then share the knowledge. All right, so remember, stay active and stay well. Talk to you soon.